Hey folks, Tate here with Do All Outdoors. Today we are going to be assembling the FireFly. So we're going to do this in two portions. The first one is going to be flipped upside down, then I'll flip it up and finish. So we will go ahead immediately and turn it upside down and begin with the first step, which is taking our safety ring studs and installing them into the rear of the trap here, threading them by hand from the outside in. Just get them nice and snug, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is going to be safety ring arm and the leg bracket. What you're going to do is take two of your 5mm Allen head bolts, and you're going to begin by putting them to the front of the trap here where you've got two holes on each side, and it's going to go the leg bracket inside and then the safety ring bracket outside. I'll begin by threading these by hand, and then I'll come back with my Allen wrench and finish them up, and then I will do the same on the opposite side here. So I'll take the two bolts, push them through the safety ring arm into the leg bracket, and then we will begin by threading them in by hand. And then I will just finish tightening with the Allen wrench. Okay, now that we got that done, we'll move on to the rear base stand. All that does is slide right into these two holes in the rear of the trap, and that piece is on. From there we will move to the front legs. So you'll notice the thinner portion on the end here, those are going to be the parts that stick into the ground. All they do is slide right into these leg brackets, and you are done with that step. Last thing we're going to do before we flip this thing upright is we're going to take the throwing arm, rotate it out to 12 o'clock. It's going to give you this eyelet here. What you'll do is remove the hand crank from this spade bolt attached to the main spring. You're going to hook that main spring onto that eyelet, and then take this spade bolt, run it through the hole in the rear of the trap, and then take your hand crank, thread it back onto this spade bolt, and just tighten it till you start to feel some tension on the spring. And this can be adjusted later to your preference. We're just going to leave it fairly loose for today for assembly purposes. And at this point we'll take and flip the trap over, get it upright, and finish the installation. Alright, now that we've got the trap upright, we're going to finish this installation. So you'll have 4 rubber caps on these studs when you get the trap. Just remove those, and then you can slide on the stacker poles on each of those studs. From there we will take our horseshoe along with our 4 bolts that have an 11mm head on them. We'll begin by just threading these onto the stacker poles through the horseshoe. Make sure that horseshoe is open facing the rear of the trap or the power switch. And we'll just tighten these by hand, and then we'll finish them up a little bit with that socket, but we don't need to make these super tight. Just got to get them snug on there. Alright, and for the final step, we're going to install this safety ring. So what I recommend is to take from the front of the trap and slide it through these safety ring arms. So we'll take one and slide it through, take the other on this side and slide it through, and then we'll just slide them onto the studs here at the rear of the trap. And at that point the installation is complete. You are ready to bring it to the field and start throwing, start shooting the clays. Whenever you do hook it up to the battery, make sure you got that power switch in the off position. Anytime you're moving or messing with the trap, be sure to put that arm in the 12 o'clock position, remove the main spring so you can do that safely. Alright, that is all.